The only thing we have to talk about from the Lion Mountain side tonight, and it's been all over the pages today, is their quarterback, Wenrick.
Well, he's everything that they say he is. He's a clone a little bit of the kid we saw from Sunbury. He's thrown for nearly 2,000 yards. I mean, this kid can do it all as far as passing the ball. And unlike the kid from Sunbury, he's also going to run the ball a lot more. So Mount Carmel area, as you look at the screen, Mount Carmel area has won the toss and has elected to receive the football. They will start offensively, and quickly offensively for Mount Carmel area as they begin the game. At left tackle, Jamie Volker. Guard, Dan Dowkis. Of course, at center, the all-state John Els. I got a tough time getting that in there. It's the easiest name in the group here. At right guard, Sinkovich. Tackle, Chris Hugh. And, of course, tight end, Chris Cuff. At quarterback, Nick Sebas. Fullback, Al Bailey. Starting at tailback would be John Veach. And, of course, at split end, you'll see Josh Paracella, number 29. Slot back, Matt Van Doren. And also Mike Smith.
The three speed backs back there, Warren, for the Red Tornadoes. Number 5, Sebas, 28, Bailey, and 25, John Veach. And that's questioned, Wayne, whether or not Lion Mountain has seen the speed of Mount Carmel.
Well, they haven't, and that's for sure. I don't think anybody has this year yet. Especially, you know, in the first quarter, you can just see everybody turning their heads and looking at Sebas and Veach running right by them. Definitely, especially in the secondary, they're not used to seeing the speed that we have.
Kickoff, Todd Wenrick kicking off, and he squib kicks it, and it's gonna go out of bounds, which it did. Penalty flag flies. Mount Carmel will take the ball over.
I'm not sure it was on purpose. It didn't really look like the right side of the Lion Mountain team tried to go after it, so it appeared that it was strictly a bad kick.
Mount Carmel will take the ball. They decline the penalty, take the ball at about their 45 or 44-yard line. I'll see where he puts it down.
Okay.
Right.
And one thing you're going to see here, Lion Mountain coming out, the size of their team. We have not seen anybody this small yet this year. Every team we've played have...
Henninger and Lenig. Cornerback is Jeff Marquette. Safety is Jared Harold, and cornerback is Josh Kratzer.
See the cheater backs here, Warren. Going to take Veach behind them.
First down, John Veach. Pickup of about 6 yards that time. Didn't see who made the tackle on that play, which is why I'm going to be a little bit rusty here at the play-by-play, but I'll pay more attention there. Everybody stood up so quickly, I didn't see which ones were actually the tacklers.
Two things here, Warren, that you're seeing is, number one, they're on that ground gain, but the other thing is, by doing the ground, it's keeping the ball out of Wenrick's hand, as we're already down to 10:35 in the first, almost 2 minutes off the clock already.
Pick up at that time, 4 yards by Veach. The ball sitting now on Lion Mountain 30-yard line. Second down, 6 to go.
What you're in that case, they're in a 4-4, and their line is really gapped wide. In this series, is the very first series, picking up 3 yards on every carry. We are getting back into their linebacking crew, which is not a good thing for Lion Mountain at this point.
Veach again on the carry. He's still churning around there. Probably brought down by number 28, Brian Henninger of the Eagles. Pickup of another 3 yards. That brings up, I would say, third down now and about, I'm sorry, yeah, it was a little bigger gain. Third down 2 now for Mount Carmel area. The ball sitting on the Lion Mountain, just inside the Lion Mountain Eagles 35-yard line.
A nice grinded out offense right now. I mean, that's what Mount Carmel's looking for, ball control, and they have it right now.
Mountain, that cheater back set again, this time to the left side.
Gonna go right to it.
Yep.
Still on his feet, still moving, breaks outside, down the sidelines, cuts back in, finally tackled out there by number 22. TJ Lenig that time on the tackle by Lion Mountain, and the ball now all the way down at the 13-yard line of Lion Mountain as Mount Carmel area has put together an opening series drive here, guys.
23 yards there, Wayne.
23 yards. That time when we brought the cheater backs up, they never adjusted to the power side. They never shifted over to the right.
Well, we're going to try him out of the left again, Warren.
Veach again with the ball, this time straight up the middle. And he's going to be stopped this time and maybe lose a yard. Getting off the bottom of that pile, you've got, let's see, it's 22 again. Lennig got off the pile. It looks like 17 or 7. There's a 20. Yes, Lennig. We had in there, I'm sorry, Hill, 73, not 17.
.824 left in the first.
Scoreboard shows no gain on that play, so now 2nd and 10, still at the Line Mountain Eagles 13. Bailey with the handoff, the fullback comes straight up.
Excellent.
He'll pick up almost 9 yards, it looks like, down to the Line Mountain 4-yard line where the ball will finally be placed. Nice run by the fullback.
I'll tell you what,
Bailey.
beautiful. It was a delayed slant there, and beautiful trap blocking down there by the center, Jonathan Elson, Dan Dowcus on the left-hand side.
Got 3rd down and 1, ball on the 4-yard line. Veach with the ball over the right side, touchdown, 4-yard touchdown run by John Veach.
What an impressive drive. Yep. Impressive drive.
Well, that's a nice way to open the game, guys. Sinkovich in for the extra point attempt. Mount Carmel area lines up in their standard extra point try. The bus else calls for company. They come over to visit them. Snap is good. Ball is up. Kick is good. Mount Carmel area with 7:33 in the first period takes a 7-0 lead over the Eagles of Line Mountain.
Tell you what, you look at that drive right down the field. There was only one play that they were stopped at the line of scrimmage, and you know, you go back to looking at the size of Line Mountain here. You wonder if this isn't going to take its toll over the period of this game, that they are not going to be able to control the line of scrimmage. Once our backs get through the line and they're into their linebacking crew, all you need is a shield block, just like Veach had, to pick up 23 yards.
Well, I think the other secret there is the time. 5 minutes, Wayne, on the clock. 5 minutes off the clock. Kept it on the ground, pounded it out. Veach went for about 45 yards and Bailey for about 12. We're not going to take Jose's job here, but we'll give you a couple numbers, and that's about how it went for. And again, a 5-minute drive, Warren. Impressive drive by the Red Tornado offense.
Deep for the Eagles to receive the kick is number 7, Straub, and 25, or Troutman. 26, I'm sorry, Schreffler. Number 7 with the ball, Straub, and he's going to be brought down. Oh my goodness, he's got Smith in there. You got Van Doren coming off the pile. Shellhammer coming off the pile. Well, Line Mountain takes over the ball right now on their own 32-yard line.
Well, you're going to see a West Coast offense here. They go with 1 single back and 4 wide receivers. They have what looks like, nope, there it is.
Wenrick goes over center. You've got Henninger as the tailback, lone back in the backfield. He's going to pass. He passes down. The stop is made by Chesney, number 3, with the ball. Josh Kratzner on the reception. Pickup of, I see them put it down there. About 5-yard pickup, maybe a little bit more. Between 5 and 6 yards on that pass play.
Now the key here to Line Mountain's offense is keeping this the defense out of the backfield and keeping out of his face. He's got to hit the short ones.
Again, Wenrick with the sole running back, Henninger in the backfield. Handoff quick to Henninger. No, he didn't. He kept it. I'm sorry, he kept it. And Wenrick will be brought down by Malachowski. Was the first hit. Sinkovich, cuff. But Malachowski really was the one that didn't go for the fake that time.
That was 4 guys trying to make that initial hit. Excellent job by Malachowski and cuff Sinkovich.
Again, you got 3 wide receivers split to the left side of the formation, almost a trips formation now. But Wenrick with 1 here to the right. Wenrick under center, back to pass. He's heading for intercepted. That's Paracella with the interception. He's going down the sidelines.
He's going all the way.
1 block, and he's got touchdown. Josh Paracella on interception of a Todd Wenrick pass.
I think number one, Todd Wenrick talked too much in the papers today.
Well,
he fired up the Red Tornadoes, guys.
Tell you what, give Steve Sinkovich a great interception by Paracelsus. Steve Sinkovich had somebody shielded on the 5-yard line for at least 10 seconds on that play. Excellent play.
Extra point attempt by Sinkovich. Kick is up and good. At 6:35 remaining in the first period, Mount Carmel area has now taken a 14-0 lead over the Eagles.
Now, one thing when you take a look at the stats for Wenrick, you know, he's completed 55% of his passes for the whole season. He has only been intercepted for the whole season 9 times. Here's the first time, and this is not the time to throw an interception for a touchdown, especially in a playoff game like this and early in the game.
I guess one of the question marks coming into the game was the caliber of teams they played, and it does count. You have to count when Mount Carmel's against the Shamokans, the Southerns, and the Allentown Central Catholics.
You're not kidding.
You know, and the Halifaxes and Millersburg, and just that's one thing. He is an outstanding quarterback, they say, but is he now at a caliber and a level of football that's one step up?
Sinkovich will tee up and kick the ball once again to Schreffler and Straub down at sitting around the 7-yard line.
I'm impressed, Warren. You know those names right away. Never
Schreffler.
Thought you knew the names.
Schreffler at the ball. He's still running. He's going to be brought down along the 32-yard line, and getting off that pile is going to be number 6.
Vince Yasenchak.
Yasenchak, the freshman quarterback, in on the stop, and he's made a name for himself in the special teams lately. 6:29 remaining in the first period, 14-0 lead Big Red, and Wenrick brings the troops up under center. Again, Henninger, the lone back, trips now to his right. Quick opener to Wenrick. Fumble. Cuff has it. Cuff has recovered a fumble. The hit was by Sinkovich, ladies and gentlemen, in the backfield. Henninger gave the ball up. Cuff recovers, and Line Mountain is in serious shape here in the first period.
And I'll tell you what, Wenrick's going off very, very slowly.
Well, I'll tell you
now.
what, Cuffy dove for that ball. I mean, he was like an animal after that thing, and he hit him pretty hard. On his right arm.
Mount Carmel up over center, ball sitting on the Line Mountain 29-yard line. Stevens back to pass. Now he's going to run with the ball, cuts upfield.
Fumble, I think.
I believe they're calling that a fumble
Second
also.
Down.
No, they're going to the ground cause that.
Well, they're marking it. No, they're marking it back 2 yards, so they are calling it a fumble.
Oh, we recovered it.
Yeah, Chris Shue recovered the ball.
Chris Shue, I'm sorry, I didn't see him come up with it. How could you miss him, for crying out loud? I gotta get binoculars if I can't see him out there. Brings up a 2nd down and 9 for Big Red. Ball sitting just inside the Line Mountain 30 at the 29-yard line. Split backs. Veach with the ball. And Veach is going to pick up a good 5 yards on that carry. And he was stopped by number 73, and that's Jeremiah Hill for the Eagles.
Tell you what, you want to see some beautiful blocking. You know, if George could run that back, and you take a look at the interior of our line with Vogler, you have Daukus pulling that time again. You got Jonathan Else, you got Sinkovich, and on the right-hand side, you got Chris Shue.
3rd and 5 for Big Red.
Single back here.
Veach with the ball. Coming to his left side, and he's going to be brought down by number 22. T.J. Lenny coming up from the Eagles from his linebacker position. And you're going to see a loss here of about 3 yards, 2 yards.
They're small, but they're quick. And the thing is, when you just run Jonathan Veach straight across the field like that, he's not going to have, without blocking, the ability to make that corner.
Well, see, that's what you pick up, Bob. When you downsize your team, you pick up the speed. They're going to recover much quicker when they run lateral.
4th and 7, high back formation. Smith and Paracelsus split wide right. Hand off to Veach, and he's going to be at 56. Zach Ladshaw for the Eagles. He came into the backfield and stopped Veach for a loss of another 2 yards, and Line Mountain will take the ball over.
The old delayed draw and fourth down, and you give credit to the young Buriak coach. He had one guy just stay for the delayed draw. He was strictly there for that play.
Line Mountain takes the ball over on their own 32-yard line. 4 minutes, 26 seconds remaining in the first period.
And this is similar to the Sunbury game. It doesn't matter how many points are on the board when you have a throwing quarterback like this.
Wenrick and Henninger in the backfield. Wenrick with the ball. And Daukus, number
Daukus
71.
Will Wenrick. Oh, nice play by Daukus.
Meyer also coming up from the linebacker position. And 26 Lentini also in on the play. And again, they seem intent to try to come around that end with Henninger on a keeper, but both ends so far.
Wenrick on the keeper.
Wenrick on the keeper, and
yeah, they're running a dive to try to hold our linebackers, but they're not taking care of our defensive ends, which I don't think too many people have this year.
See, they're moving Chesney with the lone receiver, if you watch that.
Trips right. Wenrick back to pass, and it was aiming at number 3, who was in traffic, Kratzer. Line Mountain's arguing for a penalty, but really he just got tangled up in triple coverage.
And the ball was 10 yards over.
And the ball
downfield.
was well overthrown, so there wasn't much chance you were going to catch it, so no flag. 3rd down and 13 now for the Eagles, and the ball back on their 29-yard line.
Well, not only did he have Chesney along with him, he also had Steve Sinkovich coming back to cover, so he was well covered that time.
And this offensive set is pretty much what you're going to see the rest of the game. You got Wenrick under center, Henninger in back of him, and then 3 receivers to one side, 1 to the other. Heavy rush, number 12. Pass is completed to number 12. Stopped by number 5.
But Wenrick paid the price.
He did. He went up.
He paid the price for Malakowski.
I'll tell you what happened there was a lot of pressure from Malakowski and from Chris Cuff that time. And what happened, he could not see over Malakowski, so he left his feet to throw the ball, and when he left his feet, that's when Malakowski hit him.
Marquette was a receiver on that play. It's a 1st down. Ball sitting on Line Mountain's 44-yard line.
And right now, Wenrick's out for this play. They have number 7 in a quarterback, which is Adam Straub. He's going to take the snap here.
Quick opener to Henninger. Stopped by the dog, 54 Evans. Pickup of about 1.5 yards. Straub remains the quarterback so far. We did not see. We saw that 42 was shaken up. He's been out. He returns. Wenrick returns to the game, and he'll play quarterback.
3 minutes left in the first quarter.
2nd and 9.
See, you have Chesney coming over to the right here again. So he is with the lone side receiver.
Trips left. Wenrick back to pass. He's throwing again to number 12, and I don't believe he caught that. They're
not only
they don't know right
now. Nobody knows.
Marquette is going to be Marquette is not credited with the catch. He trapped it, so the ball would come back, but they took a long while to decide whether he did or not.
Here's a little.
See, I don't understand this. There's a 7-man crew out there on the field, and somebody should have picked that up. I mean, it was right in the middle of the field.
Little difference here on defense. They've put a monster back in. Bailey's come in right now. Daukus, the end, comes out. So we're going with sort of like I guess more like a nickel back there, Wayne.
Well, apparently, if they're doing that, they've seen what Line Mountain has done.
Trips right. Wenrick under center again. Henninger behind him. Henninger's back to pass.
Blitz from Sinkovich. Oh, big hit. Big hit from John Veach. Wow.
Number 1, Harold, was the intended receiver that time, but ball was a little high and out of bounds.
What we, as we said, the size on offense, but you're talking about the speed that we have on defense, our defensive line. I don't think Wenrick has seen anything like this. That's for darn sure. You could see his motion, his passing is a little erratic. There he has Steve Sinkovich almost right in his face the whole time.
Straub in punting formation. Sivas and Veach are back deep for Mount Carmel area, and we have a penalty.
Well, the problem here is we had the nickel back, or whatever we want to call that defense, the strongman defense in.
Sorry, we have a timeout call by the Eagles.
Oh, okay.
Timeout.
If it was a penalty, that's what it looked like.
I couldn't find a flag, but I knew they whistled the play dead.
Trying to get in and off the field. 2:26 left in the first quarter. Red Tornadoes in the lead, 14-0.
It's a little bit of an odd time to call a timeout when you're punting in the first period.
It appeared Mount Carmel was having the problem, not Line Mountain.
I'm a little unsure why they would have done that. They had everybody in there. It looked like they were ready to go, and he did actually punt the ball. So just an odd way to waste a timeout, I think, here so early in the football game for the Eagles. And again, Sebas and Veach now will go back deep, and we'll try to do this all over again with number 7, Adam Straub. Adam Straub, a sophomore, 5'8", 160 pounds, will punt the ball.
Looks like the Red Tornado coaching staff has done an excellent job, though. He's close up to the back here, though, to punt. Oh, okay.
He's a real short step kick. That time, Veach catches the ball and downs it right at the 30-yard line from Mount Carmel area, where they will take the ball over on offense.
That seems unusual. Usually you're back 13 yards.
Yes, it was
there,
about 5
you're
yards.
Like 7.
He's almost like a quick kick, though. You just see how he does that? He really just 2 steps and booms it. He doesn't have a lot of coming up to it kind of stuff, you usually expect to see. Van Doren's going to split wide right. Paracella left. Veach and Bailey in the backfield. I formation. Ball to Bailey in a quick opener. He's stopped by number 28, Brian Henniger, and 56, Zach Latshaw.
Right now they're jamming the line of scrimmage with that 4-4. They are just having everybody up there, so we have to open it up a little bit and get them from jamming in there and expecting that run right there, Wayne.
Well, we haven't done anything really out of the ordinary yet to freeze those linebackers. It's just our basic normal grind them out game, straight dives up the middle.
And the secret against the passing team is that's what you want to do.
Sure.
Sebas back to pass. Now he's going to keep the ball. Oh! Sebas is going to be brought down, and I'm trying to see who gets out the ball. It's number 56. I'm sorry, 55 that time. And 55 is Josh Daniels into the football game for the Eagles. He makes a stop that time, and he actually stopped a pretty big gain that time.
Yeah, I think a real big gain. Mike Sinkovich ended up with 2 guys out there, and he got a good block on one, but he wasn't going to get both of them.
3rd down and 7 now for Big Red. Fake to Veach. Sebas back to pass. Looks like a screen pass coming up, but just over Veach's fingertips. They were setting a screen up over here to our side that time. Brings up a 4th down and a punting situation for Big Red.
Looked like it was set up pretty well, too, didn't it, guys? We had about 5 blockers out there with 1 line mountain, and it was number 28, Henninger. He was the lone guy out there, and he had Daukus and Else, and I think it was Vogler out there in front of him.
Sinkovich to punt the ball. Straub and Schreffler back. Ball's bouncing in Straub's direction, but he's going to let it be. And Paracella will down the ball at the Line Mountain 35-yard line. .57 seconds remaining in the first period.
Well, it's on the Red Tornadoes' defense shoulders here again to get in there, and each time Wenrick comes out, you're expecting an explosive play. So,
okay, Wenrick now with no backfield. He's got 4 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Back to pass, and he heads over to his right. And there's Chesney
interference,
play up.
Major interference on number 3. He was all over Nick Chesney.
I'll tell you what, Chesney's been playing. Bob's right. Chesney's playing number 3. Apparently, he is their main receiver. They all have about the same number of yards in receptions, but he has the most out of them and the highest percentage. But Chesney's on him, and they're, again, Chesney in a beautiful position for the interception.
Again, no backs in the backfield for Wenrick. He's got 4 guys left, 1 guy right. He rolls to his left. That's going to be number 7, Adam Straub on the reception. Stopped by Sebas, and that's going to be enough for a 1st down for the Eagles all the way down to the Mount Carmel area, 48-yard line. 1st down, Line Mountain.
Good rush that time by Dan Daukus. He did as much as he could. Maybe get his hands up, Wayne, to block Wenrick's view.
Now they move the ball. Right. That was interesting. We just had a replacement of the ball. The ball now on the Mount Carmel area 46-yard line. And I don't even want to ask why we just did that. same formation. We got 4 guys now to Wenrick's right, 1 left. Long count. He's rolling.
Big
Malachowski on the run.
Oh, big hit from Steven Sinkovic.
Sinkovic, number 47, drives Wenrick out of bounds. Did so about the Mount Carmel area 41-yard line.
Again, good coverage downfield. Wenrick being chased by Malachowski there. Could not find the receiver. Everybody was covered man to man.
He's a 2nd and 5 now for the Eagles. Wenrick, a keeper, straight up the middle. That time he's going to be stopped by Meyer and Sinkovic, but he came right off the guard that time, and straight up the middle, saw an opening and used it, and is very close. If not, I'm going to say that he has the first down, to tell you the truth. I think it's a first down, Eagles.
Our defense readjusts here, and the adjustment is they have to pick up that extra man out on the flat. And what happens, like the last time now we had Terry Meyer, the lone linebacker standing in the middle, and he was sort of hedging back. You know, as soon as the snap, he's going back for coverage. This time, Steve Sinkovic was there, you know, in his normal position. Apparently, they seen what our linebacker was doing, and hopefully, they were thinking they could break away on a quarterback sneak.
First down, Eagles.
And plus, the line is continually rushing, Wayne.
Right.
It's just, we're charging right there. That's what we're doing.
Ball just outside Mount Carmel area's 35-yard line. First down, Line Mountain Eagles. And that's the end of the first period, ladies and gentlemen, with the score. Mount Carmel area 14, Line Mountain 0.
There, 14-0. And it was really neat to see. Now what they have to do, though, is keep it rolling and stop this offensive drive that started on the 30-yard line of the Eagles.
Yes, they put together a nice drive here now. A couple of nice passes to run, and they're down to the Mount Carmel area 35-yard line. Again, it's first down and 10 Eagles. And we now go back to, we're going to see the shotgun here. Wenrick lining up in the shotgun formation now. 4 receivers out to his left, 1 to his right. And that's going to be offside Mount Carmel. And that's unusual that you do it from the, you get your guy offside from the shotgun formation.
Yeah, because they're really the count isn't as close to you.
Right.
That's what you're saying.
That's an unusual move there, but that's a 5-yard penalty. It'll bring up 1st and 5 now for Line Mountain. Ball sitting right outside of the Mount Carmel 30-yard line.
Well, the secondary of the Red Tornadoes are going to get their work tonight, Warren.
Oh, yeah. Shotgun formation with Renrick. He's going to run right up the middle.
Right up the middle again.
Sinkovic and Myers on the stop, but he's going to be good enough there. That's 6 yards. He picked up a first down for the Eagles. Ball sitting at the Mount Carmel area 29-yard line. So we're seeing a little bit of diversification from the Eagles here on this series. Back under center now. 4 receivers to his left, 1 again to his right. Back to pass, quick one over to number, and he just missed 3. Josh Kratzner there, a little bit outside of him there, and he couldn't bring the ball down. Brings up 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles.
Well, he threw so quick. Number 3, he didn't even see the ball. And the ball was behind him to begin with. If the ball was in front of him, it would have been close to a 5-yard pickup.
He's been running that hook and go pretty regular, too. And Chesney was going back with the go before the hook came. Everything happened too fast. That was Wenrick's fault.
Wenrick out of the shotgun. Rolling left. And he's got number 1 that time, Jared Harold. He's out of bounds about the 13-yard line. And that is not quite enough for a first down, I don't believe. Is it? Or yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to be a first down, yes. First down, Line Mountain at the Mount Carmel area 12-yard line as the Eagles have driven deep into Red Tornado territory.
Well, actually, we went back to a standard defense. Now we're putting the 2 tight. This has happened. This drive has happened with that monster man defense in there. So we're going back to a standard 5-men front right now. 4 receivers to the right.
Wenrick rolls right in the cuff, and he's going to come down. Chris Cuff that time brings Wenrick down. and you're going to see probably right at the line of scrimmage, it looks like.
Well, the secret there was the 2 defensive ends again.
Right.
The Line Mountain offensive line wasn't capable of blocking the defensive ends.
That's a loss of a yard, so it brings up 2nd and 11 now. Ball sitting on Mount Carmel area's 19-yard line. This time Wenrick comes with Henniger in the backfield for the first time in quite a while. Back to pass. I got Sinkovich and Lentini, and he hit number 12. Jeff Marquette. That's a quick gain to, I would say, 5 yards, it looks like. 4 yards.
4 yards.
4 yards, yep.
A quick slant pass,
Yep.
and that one's going to work when they throw it that quick.
And I'll tell you what, you have to give Marquette credit. He had to watch that ball because Cuffey and Malakowski, the 2 of them took a swipe at that ball. I don't even know how it got through the line of scrimmage.
We have a timeout, officials timeout.
That's Daukus down there with a helmet problem. 3rd and 7 now for the Eagles.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just sitting on the 11-yard line there.
Just going to say 10-18 left in the first half.
Hand off to, no, I'm sorry, he kept it. Pass into the end zone, touchdown, Line Mountain. And that's number 1 getting up. Gerald Harrell with the touchdown reception from Wenrick. And the Eagles are on the board, 14-6.
I'll tell you, when you're in the end zone like that, you have to have tighter coverage, Wayne. He was wide open in the end zone.
I mean, the line of scrimmage was only at the 11-yard line. We have to, you definitely have to play them a little bit closer.
Well, Line Mountain looks like they're going to go for 2 here, ladies and gentlemen.
They don't have a kicker.
Oh, then they are going for 2.
Yep, they don't have a kicker.
Not hard to figure that one out. You got Wenrick's going to be in a shotgun formation with Henniger standing directly to his right. Wenrick back to pass, and he throws it into the back of the end zone and over number 1, Gerald Harrell's head. So the 2-point conversion is denied with 10 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the second period. Mount Carmel area now leads 14-6 over the Line Mountain Eagles.
Impressive drive by the Eagles. They put in a 70-yard drive, passing and running. Not much running, but they did throw a lot and finalized it there with a nice 11-yard pass.
Well, the key there is that Line Mountain is splitting everybody out, and Wenrick is the only one back there in the backfield. The problem that poses to the defense for the Tornadoes is that when Wenrick rolls out, he can either throw the ball or he can run it. Now, we know he has over 1,000 yards running already. So as soon as he gets close to the line of scrimmage, what occurs is our defensive backs release off the receivers. So that had given Wenrick the possibility of throwing the ball. And I think he did it about 3 times in that series coming down the field.
Now, 51
is
Matt
now going to try to kick off.
Is going to kick off instead of Wenrick, as was the first kickoff. So Smeltz will kick the ball off. He's got Sebas, Bailey, and Veach deep. Squibbers around the ground, and you got Sebas.
In and out of Sebas' hands, but he recovered.
Picked it back up again.
Woo.
Brings the ball back to the 35-yard line in a very exciting 10-yard gain there for Sebas.
He was already in high gear. Did you see that? He was moving.
There was a hole, too.
Oh, there was.
1st and 10, Big Red. Starting from their own 35-yard line. Parasella comes out far right. And Doring left. I formation. Hand off to Veach, and he's going to be stopped right smack in the backfield, and that's going to be 56, Zach Ladshaw, who stopped Veach in the backfield, and he's going to lose 2 yards.
We've seen number 56, Ladshaw, in the last series of the first quarter there, making quite a few tackles, about 4 in a row, in fact, for some losses. So he's sort of stepping up a little bit on his defensive play.
He's coming from the right tackle position. That's where Zach is coming from.
Pitch to Veach. This time brought down by number 55. And 55 in the ball game is Josh Daniels. And again, Veach will be dropped for a loss on the play of another 2 yards.
Oh, more than that.
I'm sorry, yeah, it's going to bring up a 3rd and 17 now for Big Red.
That was a -5, Warren.
Second big play by Daniels here in the game, too. He's playing pretty impressively out of that defensive end position.
A little more fired up defense from the Eagles because of their touchdown.
Sebas back to pass. Sees Paracella down the middle, just over his head though. Covered well by number 1, Gerald Harold. And Mount Carmel area will be forced to punt the ball. And they'll be punting from their own 29-yard line. Stevenson coach back in punt position. He'll be punting to Straub.
You might see Lime Mountain going for this.
And Schruffler.
Nope, they're setting up.
Ball comes to Schruffler. Down along the sidelines, and he's going to be whacked out of sidelines by Lentini, number 26 for Big Red. Right at the 50-yard line where Line Mountain will take over with 8:52 remaining in the second period.
Good field position for the Eagles, especially with their passing defense. You have them deep, and they have to do certain things. When they're at midfield, they can do a lot of stuff from this position.
No backs in the backfield. Wenrick under center. Again, everybody's spread out now to his right side. Quick pass to number 7. And that's Straub a little over his head. Covered well by Lentini that time from Mount Carmel area.
It's just a hard offense to defense. That's the easiest way to put it. When you're coming out with all this motion or all this guys split out wide, it's tough, Wayne.
Well, you definitely have to play a good man-to-man. That time on the other side, you saw Malakowski or Cuff. I think Cuff had split out a little. Yes, he did. He's moving out a little bit. He's going to take number 28, the fullback, and kept him on the line of scrimmage, and that's what they need to do.
Wenrick out of the shotgun. Moves to his right. Fires downfield, and that time he was looking for number 1, Harold, but way high and out of bounds. Brings up a 3rd down and 10 for the Eagles.
That's exactly what the defense has to do. They have to contain Weinrich because it gives our defense the time to stay back on the receivers the way they're supposed to. That time, Cuff took on the fullback, and he contained Weinrich to the inside, and he had to throw the ball.
Well, we saw 2 downs there with the defensive ends. Now we're seeing the monster man in there, and the defensive ends are out. We're in a 4-man line right now. So a little change of defense here for the Red Tornadoes on 3rd and long.
Wenrick looks to pass straight down the field. He's got number 7, and he just overthrows Straub that time. That was a deep pass. Sebas on the coverage. Sebas had pretty good coverage that time, guys.
Yeah, he did.
Brings up 4th and 10 for the Eagles, and I believe a punting situation, although it's hard to tell who's going to punt with this crew.
Yeah, you don't know who's far enough back to
there
get the
comes
ball.
7. He's coming back.
Straub is the punter.
But he is so lined up so well. Now he's back a little farther, so that really messes the center up. No, it's only about 7 yards.
That time he kicks in the direction of Sebas, but he's going to let it sit. Number 1, Harold, downs the ball at the Mount Carmel area 24-yard line.
I don't know if that's on purpose. Did they do that all season long? Or are they just kicking the short one so we don't get
I don't know.
Back?
I have no idea. It looks like a short.
Yes,
it looks like they're trying a short kick.
With 8:34 in the second period, Mount Carmel area takes over 1st and 10. High formation. Hand off to Veach.
Oh,
cuts
beautiful
back.
haul.
He's looking for Paracella along the sidelines. He's still up and running, still going. He's out of bounds just about the, well, okay, he's going to be out of bounds at the Eagle 45-yard line.
Boy, I'll tell you what. You take
nice
a
run
look,
by Veach.
Look at that hole there. I think you could have ran through that, Warren. Daukus just kicked that end out, and Veach just ran right behind him. What a beautiful play.
1st and 10, Big Red. Ball inside, or right outside the Line Mountain 45-yard line. Now we're going to line up in the cheater back formation. Sebas under center. Veach takes the ball behind the back, and he's still moving, still running. Brought down by number 28 that time. Brian Henniger for the Eagles, but a nice pickup again by Veach, and a first down for Big Red as he begins to pick up chunks of yardage here in the last 2 carries.
And actually, he would have had about maybe 5 more yards had he not just slipped.
Yeah, he was trying to stop there a little bit and change field position a little bit, and he slipped down, but nice run by Veach. And he comes out of the ball game now. Bailey into the ball game.
Well, this is going to be Bailey to the left side behind the cheaterbacks.
We got Myers and Sinkovich now at the cheaterback.
They're coming right. I'm sorry, they're coming right.
Bailey, the lone back now in the backfield behind Sebas. And off to Bailey. Straight up the middle.
Look at that hole.
Bailey still moving, and he's still moving.
To the 4.
4-yard line. He carried number 3, Kratzer, for the last 10 yards, literally on his back, ladies and gentlemen. First down, Mount Carmel area at the Line Mountain 4-yard line.
You take a look at the right side of our line with Jonathan Else playing the center, Mike Sinkovich, Chris Shue, and Chris Cuff on the right side. With those 2 cheater backs behind them, that unbelievable.
Just stick with it.
Yeah.
Bailey out of the lineup now, and Veach back in as they kind of tag team the Eagles right now with both backs. Cheater back formation. Hand off to Veach, straight the same way. Touchdown, Mount Carmel area.
Wow.
You know, it's like, it's 2 teams, you know, there's Line Mountain spreading the 4 guys out, everybody out there and saying, you stop us. Here's Mount Carmel putting the 2 cheater backs up, running straight down the field from about the 25-yard line, saying the exact same thing.
Impressive drive by the Red Tornadoes.
Sinkovich in to kick the extra point. Kicks up and good. With 7:24 remaining in the second period, Mount Carmel area now takes a 21-6 lead over the Eagles of Line Mountain.
Boy, they came out with some intensity in
that
series.
That particular drive.
I think they were a little upset with the last 2 offensive series that they had there.
You have to understand, in the 2 prior to that, they tried a couple different things.
Right.
They were trying some different plays. They said, okay, let's go back, power it at them, and see what that does. And I mean, that's how it happens. You good coaching right there to pick what was going to work and just go with it, Wayne.
I'll tell you what, you have to give it to those kids. There's 3 plays that they drove down the field from about the 40-yard line on the Tornadoes end all the way down for a touchdown, running the same type of play.
Sinkovich to tee it up. Straub and Schreffler deep for the Eagles. Nice kick that time going to Straub at the 5-yard line. Breaks through the middle, still up, and brought down by Lentini that time with a little bit of help from Bailey. Ball sitting on the 30-yard line of the Eagles. 1st and 10.
Well, now we're back to that 5-man front again. So Coach Conley's doing a lot here at being able to wait for 3rd and long to go. But when he has the 1st and 10, he's back to his straight 5-man front, Wayne.
No backs in the backfield. Wenrick under center. Drops back to pass. Malachowski rushes and Cuff. And he tried to hit number 7, Straub, that time. Again, under serious pressure by Malachowski. Be 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles.
Definitely the defensive line now really starting to put some pressure on him. They need about 1 more step to get him as he has the ball. He is a quick releaser.
And I think the key that you've seen in the last series and this series here is that they're containing him to the inside. They're not letting him get to the outside to run.
Four receivers right, 1 left. He puts Henniger in motion that time, and he's going to run the ball, and he's Meyer. Sinkovich made the initial hit, but didn't bring him down, and then Meyer finished them off on the sideline that time with a pickup of only about 2 yards on the play. Brings up a 3rd and 8 now for the Eagles.
Mike didn't make the tackle, but he slowed his forward motion up for the defense to recover to come back to this side.
He didn't get as much yardage as I thought either. He's about 3rd and 9. It's only on a 1-yard gain. When they get down to the sidelines like that, it's really
hard.
difficult
It
to
is.
see where he's
It
placing the ball at.
It looked like he was already up to the 35-yard line,
Yeah.
Warren.
Same formation as last play.
Now we have the monster back in.
Wenrick is going to keep the ball this time, and he came to his left that time and fools a little bit, and that's going to be a first down for the Eagles.
Well, now you start understanding how he gets his yardage. He does it all on deception. It's not like they're running it there. I mean, we were spread out all over the field. Really, they only needed to make one block to get that 10 yards, and they did it. An impressive offense. It's an exciting offense to watch.
Well, he's quick enough to get to the outside. Now, all they have to do, we have one back, the monster linebacker, facing him and watching what he's doing, and all they have to do is release their guard to block him, and Wainwright's around the end.
Flags on the play, probably
It's
delay
be too
game.
much time. It's got to be. Nobody else is doing anything there. Illegal motion. I didn't see it anywhere, but it's a 5-yard penalty
I think it was
for the Eagles.
It was the fullback in the
28.
slot.
He actually set, didn't
Yeah.
he? And then got up. Right.
He's 1st and 15 now for the Eagles from their own 40-yard line. Hendrick comes in motion. Wenrick back to pass, and he's looking for Coach Williams. Pass was intended for Josh Kratzer, but a nice catch by Coach Williams.
And he gets a standing ovation for that, too.
And he's also going to be able to let her now.
Intercepted by Whitey Williams, huh?
Brings up a 2nd and 15 now for the Eagles.
See, still out of this monster back when you have the defensive ends out, and it makes that 4-man line for us, and we're so used to the 5-man line, Wayne, that for our guys, you know.
Well, they have to play it a little bit tighter too, the 4-man line. You know, especially with this quarterback that can run the ball.
Now they look like they tightened up a little bit. Big blitz from Stevenson Kovic. Intercepted. 29, Josh.
Paracella on the interception at the. They're saying no, that he trapped it, and I'm sorry he caught the ball.
Oh, is that a bad call? I'm sorry, guys. Oh,
that was an unbelievable call.
Yeah,
that is one of the worst we've seen right there all year.
I don't know how he's calling that from the line judge. He's calling that, and he didn't even see Paracella. That was his back. Paracella's back was towards him.
3rd and 15 now for the Eagles. Ball sitting on their own 40-yard line.
Actually, your umpire has to see that. He's standing right there, not a lineman out there, not a line judge. So.
Wenrick back to pass, throws it right at Sebas, intercepted by Sebas. Comes to the Mount Carmel area sideline.
Out of bounds, good boy.
Out of bounds at
flag.
The Line Mountain 38-yard line, and they're going to tack a flag on there.
One way or the other.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
I'll tell you what, it's a defensive line.
Face mask.
It's
Eagles.
a defensive line right now that has Weinrich all shook up. In the last series, when he threw that interception to Paracella, Steve Sinkovich had blitzed and was right in his face, and he had to throw the ball high. This time, again, it was either Malakowski or Cuff. Somebody was in his face, could not see the receiver, and he just threw it up.
With the 15-yard penalty added to the play, Mount Carmel area now takes the ball over after the interception. 1st and 10 on the Line Mountain 29-yard line.
Nice interception by Sebas that time. Here's out of the power again, guys.
Hand off to Veach. Cuts back, still moving, heading for the outside.
Took it away from the power that time.
Nice run that time. He's going to pick up a good, looks like 8 yards that time. Brought down by 20, is that 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, 28. Henniger on the stop.
You know, we've seen that a number of times this year, Bob, where we run power, power, power. In the last series when we scored, that's all we ran to the power. This time we set the same thing up, we run to the weak side. And you see what that does. You see how it set it up and away he goes.
Definitely.
Second and a very long one. Ball sitting on the line mountain 15-yard line. Bailey with the carry, he'll pick up the first down, and he's down to the 13-yard line of the Eagles. First down, 4 minutes, 29 seconds remaining here in the second period.
And right now, the Red Tornadoes very content to keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock moving. As long as you're doing that, you're keeping it out of Wenrich's hands.
Bailey comes out. Veach returns to the backfield. Myers and Sinkovich will be the blocking backs. Nothing fancy here, guys. It's easy to call this game. Fakes to Veach. Sebas on the carry. Just about back to the line of scrimmage that time. That was a run the whole way.
Yep. It's just the problem that Sebas had there was when the backs go at those cheater backs, they can see it. When Bailey or Veach, he has to swing around, and he doesn't get the look, Wayne, that they get.
Well, that's what, because it looks like it's going to be a fake dive, or he's going to hand it off, and you're right, his back is to the line.
Okay, Bailey now the lone back, or the lone running back, the two blocking backs up close to the line of scrimmage. Sebas hands it to Bailey. He follows the two backs, brought down by number 73 that time for the Eagles, and that's Jeremiah Hill. And that would be a gain of just about 3 yards. Brings up a 3rd and 6 for Mount Carmel area. The ball sitting on the 10-yard line of the Eagles.
Cheater backs now come out, and Coach Williams goes with his little guys. He's going to split Paracella, Van Doren, and have the tight end cuff.
Back to pass. Sebas looking, and he has.
Oh!
That was Veach that came out of the far side there, and had slipped underneath the linebackers, but just out of his hands. Brings up a 4th down and 7 on the Line Mountain Eagle 10, and Big Red looks like they may go for a timeout. How'd you like the way I just went right into that?
You saw him call it. That's why.
Timeout, Big Red. 2 minutes, 51 seconds remaining here in the first half. Okay, Mount Carmel area now will go for a field goal. They're going to attempt a field goal. Ball sitting exactly on the 10-yard line. Ball is teed up at the 16-yard line. And that would
26-yarder.
26-yard field goal attempt by Mike Sinkovich. Ball's back, kick is up, and he's going to miss it wide left. The Eagles will take the ball over.
Well, a good stand by the Eagles defense there. I mean, they seem to figure out a way to stop the power right football, Wayne.
Well, you know, you readjust your defense to exactly what the other team is doing, and that's exactly what Line Mountain did. We ran that cheater back in the first quarter, and they never adjusted to the power on that side. So, you know, they adjusted to it. They have a little bit more speed over there, a little bit more swarming defense now.
Henniger, the lone back behind Wenrich. Wenrich back to pass. Ball is tipped up in the air, and Myers has intercepted it. Myers still moving down the sideline. He's brought out of bounds by Henniger, number 28, and he is knocked out of bounds. That looks like the 6-yard line or 7-yard line of the Eagles. That time, the ball was tipped by Malakowski. Myers made a nice interception and took the ball down. Oh, my papers blew off here.
Let me tell you what, put the ball in Terry Myers' hand, too, and he'll put some yards on for you.
Ball is placed at the 7-yard line, ladies and gentlemen. 1st and 7, 2 minutes, 42 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Well, we're back to the cheater backs here with the Red Tornadoes.
Veach with the ball, outside. Cuts in, touchdown.
Great cut back.
Jonathan Veach, that time on a 7-yard carry for the touchdown for Big Red. Can't get much better blocking than that guy.
No.
Not at all.
And see, that's what Veach brings to the table for you. You know, we have those cheater backs up there to open up that hole and blow a hole through. But what Veach did was he hesitated a little bit to see if the blocking was there so he could cut up the middle. And what he did was he kicked to the outside.
Sinkovich for the extra point attempt. Kicks up and good. That was a line drive that time. And with 2 minutes and 36 seconds remaining here in the second period, Mount Carmel now area has taken a 28-6 lead over Line Mountain here in this District 4 semifinal game.
I think that was a third interception. Is that correct?
That was the third interception.
Right.
So we're.
It's actually the fourth if you're counting Paracello.
Well,
that's right.
Which was an interception.
We sort of counted that one.
Now again, you have to remember that
he's had only
Weinreich nine interceptions for the whole season.
It said 8 here. I didn't know if it was 8 or 9,
yeah.
but
in the item it was 9. So
for the whole year.
For the whole year.
And another interesting thing is they are ranked 4th in the state with an average of 44.44 points per game. So, and that's a state ranking. They have Sharon and Donegal and a couple of the others that are higher than them, but they are 4th in the state in offense.
Kovic kicks off in the direction of Straub, and he's going to let it go into the end zone wisely.
Go ahead, kicks Mike Sinkovic.
Touchback. Eagles will take the ball over on the 20-yard line again with 2 minutes and 36 seconds remaining here in the second period.
And you know, it looks like he's perfected now to keep it down on the right-hand side again.
You know what? The Eagles have to learn this is a very dangerous time of opponents of Mount Carmel. It appears in these last 2 minutes we can usually throw 2 or 3 scores on the board.
Wenrick comes under center with Henniger behind him at the lone running back slot. And he keeps the ball. He has the ball still. And he's going to be brought down out there by 29 Paracella, 26 Lentini on the stop. Pickup of 3-4 yards. Let's say 3. Okay, I did. I'm saying 3.
3 yards.
2nd and 7. How's that?
That's very good. I like the way you said it.
How much did you pick up? 3 yards.
Oh, you see Chesney still going with number 3, Josh Kratzer. He stays with him.
Wenrick back to pass, deep pass in Chesney.
He intercepted it, but he was out of bounds.
He intercepted out of bounds, and he took a hit from a guy just kind of standing around out there. Jeremiah Hill was just standing there when Chesney intercepted the pass, but again,
Chesney was in great position for that.
He looked like the receiver.
Yeah, he did.
He looked like the receiver.
Again, trying to get to Kratzer, number 3, and right now Kratzer's got to feel that he's wearing a blanket when he goes out for a pass because Chesney is all over him. Again, Kratzer, the lone back to Wenrick's right, everybody else left. Henniger in the backfield.
Watch him try a run here. Nope.
Wenrick back to pass. Over the middle, and he's got Sebas, intercepted by Sebas.
Oh, again.
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe it. I mean, right from here, we could see it. Unbelievable, Warren.
No interception.
Now, again, you know, the thing you're missing here, if you're not watching our defensive line, is the amount of pressure that they are putting on.
Right.
And I think at this point in time that Weinrich is having a tough time looking over the defensive ends and our tackles.
4th and 7, and Straub in the kick, in the punt for the Eagles. He's punting from his own 15-yard line.
Warren, I had to say that for you because that's usually what you say, something like that.
Oh, yeah. Sebas, and he's brought down immediately by number 51, and the guy with him there is hurt. Is that number 7?
Number 1.
1, I'm sorry.
51 and 1.
Harold and Smeltz that time on the stop, and Harold got up a little bit slow there. He stays in the game. Minute 39 remaining in the first half.
Starting out right on the 50.
Oh, we got everybody out of the backfield.
Didn't tell anybody, though. They kept it a
back
secret.
To pass. Good protection. Sees Paracella over the middle. Paracella with the catch down.
Yep.
All the way down to the Line Mountain 25-yard line.
Wow.
First down, Mount Carmel. Minute 33 remaining in the half.
Not only did we have
play.
Not only did we have Paracella wide open in the center, but Mikey Smith was down on a 20-yard line with nobody near. I mean, they didn't even look at Mikey Smith.
This is the load set. This is Chesney in there along with Paracella and
Sebas back to pass. He sees Chesney on the sidelines at the 20-yard line. Chesney still on his feet, still moving, and he'll be called down at the Line Mountain 17-yard line.
he nearly pulled that leg loose.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Pick up that time of 7 yards. Brings up a 2nd down, 8 yards. 2nd down and 2. Sebas behind. He's going to down the ball, stopping the clock with exactly 1 minute remaining here in the half. And Mount Carmel area will now regroup a little bit for the next set of plays. And certainly they have a real opportunity here to put some more points up on the board for the half.
Oh, definitely. I like the last 2 minutes of the first half. The last few weeks, it's been an enjoyable part of the Red Tornadoes game.
3rd down and 2 now for Mount Carmel area. Ball sitting on the 12-yard line. I'm sorry, the 17-yard line of the Eagles. Paracella in motion.
Too much time.
Delay a game, 5-yard penalty. Brings up a 3rd and 7.
I'm not
Now
sure
for
where that
Big Red.
delay game came from, though, because
Well,
I saw when he
Williams,
blew the whistle, and it didn't appear that it went that long. Is that where it
Yeah,
counts, Wayne?
no, yeah. Well, what happened was Williams put the ball down, and as soon as he put, we were still back here, not
Okay.
even huddled yet, and he, you know, he started the clock.
Third and 7 from the Line Mountain 22-yard line. Sebas back to pass. And he's got Chesney.
Oh, interference.
Chesney cutting across the middle, interference there. He was brought down, and the interference was thrown right at the 5-yard line.
Now
Mount
this will
Carmel
be
area will have a first down.
Right, a 15-yard penalty here for in high school.
And they're going to mark the ball. Let's see where they end up here. Right at the 12-yard line. This is inside the 11-yard line. I'm sorry, the 11-yard line. The first down from the 11-yard line. There are 55 seconds remaining in the second period.
Now, he did that again. He put the ball down, marked it, and started the clock. He is pretty quick
Right,
at that.
I
Okay, I
said,
see what you mean. Okay.
He put the ball down right away. He started the clock, and you know.
Not that the clock's running, but I
No,
mean,
no,
it
the
was
time-
the timer on the play clock.
Smith in motion this time.
Oh, look at the
Stevens
center.
back to pass, and he had, ooh, that was Veach. It was the intended receiver that time in the end zone, a little behind him. Veach couldn't turn around far enough to haul it in.
I'll tell you
There
what.
is a flag, Warren.
You know the play that they ran at Shikellamy, the quarterback delayed, it is there. We have everybody wide open or spread out, and we're kicking the whole center of their line to the outside, and there is nobody in the center of the field for Sebas.
Penalty went against Mount Carmel area that time. It's a 5-yard penalty. That's just signaling that the field is level.
No.
I thought.
Good try.
Brings up 2nd and 10 for Big Red. Ball is on the 16-yard line of the Eagles. We're playing a little bit of seesaw back and forth there now as we get near the end. 50 seconds now remaining in the half.
Still first down, though, here in this section of the field for the Red Tornadoes.
Paracella comes in motion. Sebas back to pass. Nice protection. Screen pass. Oh,
Look
boy.
at this. Look at this.
Oh, he cut back. There he goes.
Touchdown.
Oh,
Big blocking from the Red Tornado line. I thought he was going to run away from the line, Wayne, and then he cut it back into the line.
I'll tell you what. Did you see the sea of red there? I didn't see anybody from the Eagles. Unbelievable. Great screen pass. Good call.
Kovic ties his shoe and gets ready for the extra point attempt. There's 42 seconds remaining here in the half. Kick is up, and it is good. Again, at the 42-second mark, it is Mount Carmel area 35, Line Mountain 6. And folks, we haven't gotten to the half yet.
Oh, it's not over yet. 42 seconds is a lot of time for the Red Tornadoes.
And the Eagles have truly been rocked right now. I cannot believe they could have ever seen this scenario happening to them in a District 4 semifinal playoff game such as this. And both teams are on the road to Hershey, but one team's road has a few potholes in it at the moment.
Well, I'll
and
tell you,
they're all red.
I think it was, you know, a little bit inside last week when the Tornadoes played Selinsgrove.
So do
I think they sort of turned it up one extra notch there a little bit. And, you know, we did say that as we were talking in that game that it was just letting everybody know that the Tornadoes are ready for the playoff games, and certainly tonight proves it.
It's going to be number 7, Straw, but he's going to let that one bounce into the end zone.
He got it
for a
in.
touchback.
He got it in.
That's
Good kick, Mike Sinkovich.
That's 2 good kicks in a row by Mike. Just stuck it in the corner of that end zone for a touchback. The Eagles will take over the ball on their own 20-yard line. And there's still 42 seconds left. This is the longest 3 minutes of a half we've seen probably the entire season here. Well, yeah,
that was a long
game, period.
Wenrick with his work cut out for him now. He'll start out in the shotgun formation with Henninger at his side. Wenrick looking, and finds.
Good boy, Steve.
Good play by the
Sinkovich makes the tackle. I'm trying to see who's getting off the ball there. That's going to be number 7, Straub.
Now, Steve makes the tackle. Now, what he did, though, he kept him in bounds.
Line Mountain, a 2-minute offense now. Wenrick barking the play, clock running, 21 seconds. Wenrick back to pass. And again, he dribbles that one in, incomplete. Again, intended for Straub, the exact same play, actually, covered by Sinkovich. And the clock is stopped with 17 seconds. You don't quite see the point of throwing that type of pass.
Not here. If you're going to go for it, go for it. If not, just run the clock out. Yeah, they're your 2 options.
I'm not sure why you would throw a 4-yard pass like that to the sideline. Okay, no backs in the backfield this time. Wenrick back in shotgun formation. He's got the bulk of his group out to the left. He's going to keep the ball in a keeper, and he's going to be brought down in the middle of the line there. And you've got Evans on the bottom there. You got Myers, and the very bottom is going to get up and be Malachowski.
Timeout called by the Red Tornadoes. And they really like this last 2 minutes of the half. I admit that. I mean, that's amazing.
9 seconds now remaining here in the half.
Well, one thing you're going for here, Line Mountain has not had the best punts, and you go to block it here and just see what happens. That's all. It's a playoff season game. You want to go with all you got, and that's where it happens. Timeout called here. Whitey Williams out talking to his crew, and looks like they could try a fake here. They have
4th and 4.
But look at this. 2 guys split out here.
Straub in kicking position.
Steve Sinkovich picked it up.
And Straub does kick the ball very high this time. Ball's going to bounce free right at the 45-yard line and end up being down at the Line Mountain 47-yard line. And there are 2 seconds remaining here in the first half. Time enough for 1 play from Mount Carmel area before we head into the locker room.
Terry Meyer did have a blitz on that play, and he wasn't that far off from blocking it. That's what made him kick it high.
They haven't been. I'll tell you what, even on the left-hand side with Cuff, he's taking whoever the defensive end, or the offensive end is over there, he's taking him back into the punter.
Big Red comes out for the final play of the half. No backs in the backfield. Stevens has 3 people split to the right, 1 far left. And he's back to pass, and he's looking at Paracella, who he hits along the sidelines. Paracella still up, and finally pushed out of bounds, and that'll be the end of the half to stop that time by number 1, Harold. And Mount Carmel area will take a 35-6 lead into the locker room here at halftime. We'll be back at some point, and I know, are we doing Jose with the Is he on the
I
field or
don't
not?
see
I'm not
them
sure.
down there, so maybe.
But then in a short moment, we'll have the stats, and either he's going to be doing them or one of us, but you're going to get them. You're going to have the first half stats, and Jose, it must have taken you about an hour and a half to try to get these babies together.
It was interesting, Warren. I thought we were going to see a lot of offense, but I didn't think we were going to see it all on our side. For Mount Carmel in the first half, 36 rushing plays, 147 yards, 4 of 8 passing for 68 for a total of 215 yards in total offense, 11 first downs. John Veach, 17 for 95, and another stellar performance for him. Al Bailey running real strong at fullback, 6 for 49. Nick Sebas, 3 for 3. Receiving Josh Paracella, 2 for 44. Johnny Veach, 1 for 16. And Nick Chesney, 1 for 8. On the Line Mountain side of the ball, 12 rushing attempts for 33 yards, 7 of 24 passing for 68 yards, 7 first downs, 1 point in the game, 10 straight incompletions with 2 interceptions right in the middle. So anybody who is maligning our defensive backs, I think they've come to play tonight and show people that they can play.
Jose, let's go back to you're talking about the defensive backs there. 2 things. Number 1, you're down on the field, you're a little bit closer than we are. Those 2 apparent interceptions, one with Sebas and the other with Paracella. How close were they, or were they interceptions?
They both hit the ground.
They both hit the ground.
The way it seemed from here, and the official on this side of on the field certainly agreed with the calls, because I asked them about both of them, and of course they're going to stick with each other, but they look like they both hit the ground. They were both very close calls, but they both look like they hit the ground from down here.
Okay, and on the defensive backfield side, last week, you know, we couldn't talk to you.
No.
We had a few interceptions. We had 3 again tonight. On the whole, how is this team stacking up with everybody else?
Well, they're getting in the hunt. They're getting better. For statistical measurements, the 96 team obviously with 31, the 69 team with 26 in 12 games, by the way, and the 94 teams with 24. They're the leaders in interceptions. This team right now has 18, but they're coming on in the last few weeks, and if people are going to continue to throw the football, you know, we're going to get more opportunities to do that. We're playing more aggressive. They're up on the line, in people's faces, and I think it's a whole lot more interesting than it's been. Another thing I want to mention, I don't know if Bob mentioned, this is our 30th playoff game in school history. And obviously, the way it looks, it's going to be our 20th win. That's a 67% winning percentage, which I think people would take for regular games rather than playoff games. So I think that's quite impressive.
Jose, one of the things we don't see from the stats themselves are, and you're right there on the field, what's the feeling at Line Mountain over there? What are those kids, what do you sense from those kids right now?
I think I sense a feeling of stunned, and I think it's over. I mean, if they can come out and play, I'm going to be very surprised. It looks like it's over. I think they're intimidated. I think they ran into a real buzzsaw tonight. And I think defensively, we're playing as well as we have all year. There's no question about that.
Yeah, we're not going to get much of an argument from us on that one, Jose.
No.
All right, pal, we're on the field here. We're going to talk to you after the game again, right?
Yep, we'll be here.
Okay, pal. See you
later.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here. As we begin the second half, the captains are going out for the ceremonial coin toss here. And I'm sure the Line Mountain Eagles are going to want to receive. They kicked off to begin the game, so it's their option here in the second half. Again, they're losing the football game 35-6. It's a key, I mean, as key a game as they're playing all year. It's a semifinal District 4 playoff football game, and they find themselves in such a big hole, guys. You really wonder what it is you talk about at halftime and how it is you try to regroup, you know, with just a half to play here now.
I think the key here, especially with Weinrich, is our defensive line. It's putting so much pressure on him. He's in motion all the time when he's throwing the ball. We're not giving him any time to set up. And I think that is the whole key.
And I'm going to come in here on a little short note and say impressive play by the defensive back.
Definitely.
There were a couple breakdowns, but very few for what you're seeing out there. Everybody's covering their man. Everybody's covering their position. I mean, a much, much stronger performance than we saw at Schick that
and
night.
a very tight, tight game we're playing tonight. We're playing very close man-to-man, you know, keeping it close to the cuff, and we're right there with every pass play. Now, again, as you said, you're not going to stop them. Line Mountain. Line Mountain is a good offensive team. They can throw the ball, you know, and
right.
Some pass patterns are a little bit trickier than others, and you will have someone get open.
And they had that one series. They had one nice drive.
Sinkovich kicks off to begin the second half of play. Schreffler with the ball, number 26, cutting up the middle of the field, and he's brought down just about the 28-yard line, and we got, let's see, number 41.
Mickey Monroe.
Mickey Monroe's the missile coming off the really bottom of that pile.
Mike Smith always there too. Number
Yes,
8
but he was
always
there.
always
I believe
around.
I saw Panzarella or Lantini. One of these. I always get those two confused there, but either one of those was there. But Line Mountain will take the ball over on their own 28-yard line. And just a big hole to start shoveling dirt in there to try to get even here. Wenrick will start as he did the beginning of the game with Henniger as the lone back. He's back to pass. Short pass to number 3, and that's broken up. Penalty flag. Kratzer was the intended receiver. There'll be a penalty, and I'm sure it's going against Big Red here.
Just great coverage by Nick Chesney. That was as good as you could see, Wayne.
The man carrying the ball right now was facing the play the whole time and never made that call.
And actually, the referee that called that penalty, all he could see was Nick Chesney's back.
Back.
That's all he could see.
Brings up a 1st and 10 now, and now the ball sitting on the Line Mountain 42-yard line. Quick handoff that time, and that's to the fullback, tailback, whatever he wants to be, Henniger, and he's going to be gained maybe a yard that time and then driven back. And you got the bottom of the pile there. Of course, the dog got off the bottom of the pile.
Terry Meyer, number
Evans,
1, was
Meyer
there.
on the stops, and Kovic on the stops. So the whole group
like
of them.
about everybody.
Yeah, the whole group there. And again, Line Mountain, they had 33 yards on the ground there in the first half and have not shown a real propensity to try to run the ball. That's mostly a keep you honest run there for Henniger. He has not had a lot of work tonight. Wenrick back to pass, and the ball was tipped.
Oh, almost intercepted.
Steve
Sinkovic. Steve almost had the interception at that time, but the ball was tipped, and Malachowski again with the tip that time. And so Wenrick has had his troubles with Malachowski in the line of scrimmage as far as trying to get the ball over him.
Boy, Malachowski's just having a stellar game tonight. He's just all over the place, making tackles and right in Wenrick's face.
Monster backs now back in there, Warren, for the Red Tornadoes.
Wenrick back to pass again. Rolling to his right. Lets the ball go. Intended for number 12, Marquette. He was well covered that time by Paracella. Ball falls incomplete. Brings up a fourth. Is it fourth down? Yeah, fourth down. So I didn't see the other. 4th down and 9, and a punting situation for the Eagles with number 7, Straub, coming in to do the punting chores.
And again, there's Weinrich on his bike. He's trying to roll out to the right side and has no time to set up to throw the ball.
Beach and Sebas deep for Big Red. Kicks off in the direction of Sebas. Nice kick this time by Straub. Sebas takes the ball on the 22-yard line. He's got himself He's got to beat Straub right now if he's going to get into the end zone.
Stiff arm him.
And Straub brings him down on the 4-yard line, ladies and gentlemen.
Awesome blocks.
Yes.
Terry Meyer, number 80, Chris Koff, 71, Dan Daukas on an initial one. I saw someone else and I missed it. I'm not sure who it was. Maybe Jeff Evans. Yeah, it was. They're all congratulating the dog down there. So Evans with the other block. 4 great blocks there.
Sebas with a nice run that time. Got the wall up on the Mount Carmel area side of the field where we like to do that. He had a picket fence moving there and really made a nice return. Ball now sitting on the 4-yard line of the Eagles. 10:51 here in the 3rd period. It's 1st and 4 and goal for Mount Carmel area. That time Sinkovic gets the ball out of the cheater back position. And he's going to put it into the end zone, ladies and gentlemen.
Wonderful play. Excellent.
4-yard run for Steve Sinkovic here at the 10:48 mark of the 3rd period. And that's a play we have not seen so far this year.
Wonderful. Great play.
A lot of congratulations there for all the blocking he did.
Yes, you're right. That's right, Bob. For all the blocking he's did in the last 2 years for everybody, he certainly deserves a touchdown.
His brother in to try to cap off that little touchdown run by Sinkovic and make it an all Sinkovic affair here on these 7 points. And he puts it up and is good. So, ladies and gentlemen, with 10:48 in the 3rd period, Mount Carmel area now off to a 42-6 lead. And we might add, ladies and gentlemen, that has kicked in what is known throughout the world right now as the PIAA's mercy rule. at 36-point lead.
It should be. Now
So
we're
assuming
questioning
it
on,
does.
on districts here whether it happens.
We'll watch the clock and let you know, but if it is, it would have kicked in at this point, as the Eagles have fallen behind by 36 points early in the third period here at Mount Carmel area.
Coach Conley wants to keep it running. He's giving the old sign up here, keep it going. Right? Yep, he's sending a message man out to tell him to keep it going.
Is he?
Hey, we see it right.
Yep. Exactly what he
Yep.
did. You're right. So we assume that
Which is the right rule.
We assume that rule is in effect in a playoff game. Yes, it's been confirmed. So Sinkovic kicks the ball off, going to go in the direction of Schreffler. He takes the ball at the 7-yard line, comes straight up the middle, and he's going to be brought down hard that time by Zublik, number 30. Also Lentini getting off the pile, and of course Moroz and my main man, number 6, Yasenchak, the freshman.
Flag on the play, blocking below the
usual. They should just say that it's the kick flag. That'll drive the Eagles back, and they're going to place the ball now just at Line Mountain's 11-yard line, ladies and gentlemen, where they will take over 1st and 10 behind 42-6.
Jake Shellhammer, number 88, comes in at free safety for the Red Tornadoes.
No backs. Wenrick will pass, or that little nifty run he does to the left, but he can't afford to run much here, folks. It's going to be a pass. Puts Henniger in motion, and he hits number 7, Straub, in the open that time, and he's going to be brought down by number 1, Meyer, and 2, Chesney. And that time we had the Lord's connection team up and bring him down. But nice catch that time by number 7, Straub, and a pickup of a first down. Ball sitting at the Line Mountain 37-yard line.
He goes with the one back now, Warren.
Yeah, Henniger, and he's going to fake it to Henniger and keep the ball, and Myers is going to say hello and bring Wenrick down for no gain that time, right at the line of scrimmage. So I alluded to that play earlier. I thought maybe we might see that once or twice, and that's just a kind of almost a naked bootleg, and he fakes it to Henniger and comes around the end, but that time Meyer ran it perfectly and sets up actually a 2nd down and 10 now for the Eagles.
Well, you see that defensive line ready to tee off. Wow.
Long count this time by Wenrick. Quick pass to number 3, right at the sidelines, and he steps right out just at the 40-yard line. That's Kratzer on the catch. Sebas shoves them out of bounds along with Meyer.
Actually, Chesney. That was Chesney.
I'm sorry,
on
Chesney,
him.
not Sebas, number 2.
Right, right. Well, just because he's Chesney's guy, that's where it happened, right over on this side right here.
I looked at 2 when I said
right.
Sebas, though. I knew it was Chesney here. I don't want to get him mad at me either. Wenrick rolls to his right, and he's looking at number 12. Ooh, and there you have a nice hit that time by Sebas on Jeff Marquette. But that's enough for another first down for the Eagles. Ball's being set down on Mount Carmel area side of the field now on the 46-yard line. .8:13 remaining here in the 3rd quarter of this District 4 playoff semifinal game.
Daukas now comes out and covers the fullback coming out.
And he brings 4 men out to his left, 1 to his right. It's a quick one, and he's looking at
Chesney's
intercepted.
Oh, he threw a
Intercepted
flag.
by Chesney.
It can't be. He went after the ball. He took the ball.
He's calling it. He's calling interference
Kratzner was
before the
intended
interception.
receiver.
Unbelievable.
Josh Kratzner, the intended receiver that time. Chesney with the pick. I'll wait to see what the call's going to be, and it's defensive. Oh.
Unbelievable.
Oh.
That's right.
I'm play-by-play.
Go
I can't
catch
be doing
the ball.
Ooh.
He can go catch the ball.
Yes, he's entitled to that ball just as much as the offensive man is.
1st and 10, Line Mountain, And they're going to set the ball down as we guess where this should only go to about the 31-yard line. Ball in the Mount Carmel area, 31, 1st and 10, Line Mountain.
You know, and the 2 times that the interference has been called, it's been the ref that's behind the play, not facing it.
Oh, big hit by Chris Cuff.
That's Cuff bringing Wenrick down. Wenrick's going to lose a good 4 yards on the play. Bring up about a 2nd and 14 now for the Eagles.
I think Wenrick, he was going to try to run right down the line. I think Malakowski bumped him out a little bit deeper the first time, and that gave Cuff enough time to get in there.
I think that was Hughesville 14. We'll hear that. Everybody will know it. Hughesville 14, South Williamsport 7. Wow.
Wenrick rolls.
Oh, tackle there.
Okay.
Intercepted by Paracella.
No, it did hit the ground that time, but pass was intended for number 12, Marquette, but a holding call on the Eagles would bring
Meyer.
The play back. Meyer was tackled there in the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 800. But I'll give you the exact amount when they mark it off. Should make a 3rd and 25 now for the Eagles. The ball's going to be marched back to the Mount Carmel area, 49-yard line.
.639 winding down, and they do keep it running, Warren.
She brings up a 3rd now and 28 at the exact placement. 3rd.
No, they moved it to 2nd.
Why though? 2nd and 28.
Second it was.
Was it
yeah,
2nd to start off
second.
with?
It
Okay,
was
I'm
second,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm looking at the sideline. He's saying 2nd, and the scoreboard said 3rd. So now a 2nd and 28 for the Eagles. And this one's going to go against the Eagles, I believe. I think it's going to be a delayed game, and it is. That's a costly 5-yard penalty for the Eagles. And now you can look at 2nd and 33 from your own 46-yard line.
Daukus and
Mount Carmel changes its defense now.
Right.
And Line Mountain has called a timeout to try to regroup a little bit here at the 6:06 mark of the 3rd period.
that you do become critical. I mean,
Yeah,
I always used to say to you, you know, about the referees. Now I'm picking on them.
You're right.
So I guess whoever's over on this side gets to pick on the referees. Is that it?
I guess.
I guess.
You're doing a nice job, though.
Thank you.
It's working out good. Wenrick back on a 2nd and 33. Short pass out to number 86, and he's going to be brought down by Steve Sinkovich and Paracella.
In stereo.
And that was an odd call on a 2nd and 33 there. He's only going to pick up
3 yards, 4 yards.
Well, less than 4 yards, less than a 4-yard pickup. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 30, 3rd and 29, depending on where the spotter wants to look at it. And 86 that time, and that was one of the few times we've seen 86 Marquette.
There, we're back
folks,
on.
We're back. What you missed there was a great reception by Jeff Marquette. He took the ball down to the Mount Carmel area 22-yard line, where it is fourth down. I'm sorry, it should be 4th down now, and you're probably looking at 4th and 3 now. for the Eagles. We had some power outages here. The scoreboard and some lights went down in our equipment, so try to bear with us, ladies and gentlemen, as Wenrick brings them under center. Big 4th down play here for the Eagles. And he's back to pass.
I thought he was going to try a quarterback sneak there for a minute.
Time. Paracella.
Well, you got to watch what they call here because both
Yeah.
you know.
Paracella was guarding Marquette again, number 12. And if that goes against Big Red, it'll be a 1st down for the Eagles.
Now, see, the only problem with this is now to me that's 3 bad calls in a row on our defensive backs, and they're starting to play the game the way they should be playing the game, nice and tight and close, and these referees they're just going to take them out of their game plan.
Well, as long as you're going for the ball. And right there, Josh Paracella was going for the ball, as was Nick Chesney.
Okay, one of the things we will tell you, we're not sure of the exact time now because of the power outage.
Oh, he's coming backwards.
Is he ever? And that's going to be Wenrick with the carry that time, and he gained no yardage that time in the center of the line. He was stopped by, you got Sinkovic, you had Meyer in there, you had Evans in there, you had Sinkovic. He got nothing that time. In fact, it looks like they're going to give him about a yard gain, but we show 4:05 in the 3rd period, but the scoreboard apparently is still having an odd problem now and again because they're unable to change some of the numbers, so we're going to just keep you posted on that. Wenrick back to pass, and I don't know if they're going to give that reception to number 1 or not, and that's Harold, and he did get the reception. So Harold will pick up.
It bounced off the ground.
A reception all the way down, ladies and gentlemen, to the 5-yard line, although it is not a 1st down. He has to go down to just inside the 2 for a 1st down here. Brings up a 3rd down, and I would say 3 yards for the 1st down. Wenrick back to pass. He finds Straub.
Nice play,
Chesney brings him down, and then with a little bit of help from Paracella and Meyer, but
they
do
did not have the first
down, ladies and gentlemen. So it's going to bring up 4th down and 1 for the Eagles. And of course, there's not a whole lot of choices here, guys. You're going to go for it, but 4th and 1, 4th and 2 where he placed it actually. Yes, it is. It's going to be a 4th and 2 now because they have to get down to the 2-yard line for the 1st down. And the Eagles have elected to call timeout at what we believe to be the 2-minute and 39 mark of the 3rd period, but we won't really be sure until the quarter ends now because of the scoreboard problems and the power outage.
Coach Conley out to talk to his Red Tornado defense right now, and boy, just a lot of help from the referees on that play. And you know, they thought they were interference calls, but from up here definitely did not look that way, guys.
Well, one thing I did notice also, if you're watching the clock, the mercy rule was truly in effect. It was not slowing down or stopping at any given time. So the game will actually start to pick up unless they can score here. If they do, they'll bring it back within 35. And does it go back to normal time, or it just stays that way?
It starts. That's what
okay,
they
so
said.
the mercy rule will stay in effect even for the 4th quarter, makes it even more difficult to mount any kind of a comeback. And actually, that's one of the reasons I don't like it.
Yeah,
you're right. I don't like the fact that you're pretty much telling a team that it's over. You know, because with the clock running all the time, extremely difficult to try to say you're going to win the football game. Crucial now, 4th down and 2 for the Eagles. They need to make something happen, and Big Red is calling a timeout. I saw Malakowski stand up.
Take a look at the formation.
And that's exactly what they were doing.
Right.
Now we're changing.
28, the fullback now comes up into it. Like our cheater, he comes up behind the guard, and they have now a running back in number 32 in the backfield.
So Veach and Bailey come back out of the game, and Daukus and was it Lentini that goes back in?
Come back in,
right. Lentini will return to the lineup. And again, just a little bit of a chess match here on the 4th and 2.
And now
and they changed their entire offensive lineup again. So
Right, look at that. Look at Whitey. Whitey's watching what they're doing on the other side of the field, and he's sending sending Bailey and Veach back in.
Getting a lot of action here in this timeout here down on the goal line. And of course, truly, when you're ahead 42-6, there can't be that much meaning in this. But I'm sure right now, Big Red wants to stop them.
You're right. That's exactly what it is.
I'll tell you what, I'd watch for the quarterback to keep the ball here, though.
Wenrick comes up under center. He has Henniger behind him. He fakes to Henniger, and he throws over the middle, and he got Straub there for the touchdown.
Yeah,
quick hit over the middle to Straub.
Single coverage with Sebas that time, and that's a hard one to cover. Real hard pass to cover.
So at the 2-minute 36 mark of the third period, the Line Mountain Eagles score. And they will go for 2, of course. They had to go for 2 no matter what right now, but they apparently go for 2 no matter what because they don't have much of a placement kicking game here. So the 2-point conversion will be attempted here.
Out of the shotgun.
Wenrick rolls, and he has a choice of either running. Ooh, a lot of pressure that time, and that's incomplete. That time,
Al Bailey.
Bailey put the pressure on. The extra point attempt is denied with 2 minutes, 36 seconds remaining in the third period. Mount Carmel area 42, Line Mountain 12. That was one of the oddest offensive drives I've seen in a very long time.
A little bit of help.
Especially when you see so many like that. You know what I mean? It's really odd to see that many in a row, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, folks. There's actually a ref out there that looks a lot like me. You guys notice that?
I saw him. Didn't want to say anything about it, but
see, the difference in him is he can run. So he's got me right there. Do we know him?
Nope.
Do we know which
no,
one he is?
He's from the Williamsport area.
Oh, is
okay.
he?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, I was going to, send him a fan letter.
51 kicking off.
Yeah, he
Smelt.
came in there,
They
smelled.
started with the quarterback kicking off, though, didn't they?
Yes.
With
Well,
Wenrick,
no. Yeah, Wenrick he kicked off to start the game, and I was real surprised about that. But Smeltz does the kicking now, and of course, seeing a Smeltz line up to kick gives you like a recurring nightmare.
Oh, that's right.
He kicks off a low line drive that's bouncing at Veach. Veach is going to come over to the Mount Carmel area side of the field.
Now cut it back.
Maybe not.
Boom.
Penalty's going to fly against Mount Carmel area. Number 1 and number 86, Harold and Marquette on the stop of Veach, but that'll be called back for a block behind the back. So Mount Carmel area is going to take the ball over deep inside their own territory with the ball being placed down at Mount Carmel area's 12-yard line, where they will set up offensive shop at 2:26 remaining here in the third period.
Glad the game isn't close.
Why?
Don't ask. Just a comment.
Mount Carmel area comes out in an I formation. Give to Veach.
Oh, beautiful
Breaks
blocking
open
with
a big
Dowkins.
hole that time.
Oh,
Keeps on churning out there, and he's finally brought down by 22. Lenig.
boy, you take a look at
It's a note
Jonathan.
from 73. I'm sorry.
Jonathan
73
Ells
killed.
taking the left guard on. He's going down and taking Dowkins' man, and Dowkins pulls out and he kicks out the right guard or tackle that's coming across. And what a hole they put in the line.
Do we see a penalty there, folks, or what are we
Face
doing?
mask.
Face mask. Okay, so that rolls the ball up to Mount Carmel area's 43-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Big Red. I didn't see the flag go down.
It might not have been on the ball carrier.
Oh, okay. And Big Red sticking in the I formation right now. Stevens back to pass. He's looking over at Van Doren, and Van Doren is going to have the first down and a little bit more, all the way down to the 45-yard line of the Eagles, where Mount Carmel area will continue the drive at 1st and 10. Nice play by Van Doren that time, guys.
He's used as a decoy a lot, but he can catch the ball.
between him, Mike Smith is another one. The two can have good set of hands and good speed.
Quick pass to Paracella. Paracella splits the backs, and he's still moving. And he's going to be brought down by Harold and Hill, or that would have been a touchdown. And really, Harold was the one that saved the touchdown that time by Paracella. And he brings the ball down where it'll be placed down at the Line Mountain 23-yard line. And there's a Line Mountain player down right now, ladies and gentlemen, so there's a timeout on the field. And the scoreboard clock shows 1 minute and 4 seconds left here in the third period, but we will shortly know how close we are to being accurate with that clock when we consider the outage that occurred. And that's first time this year we had that problem.
But I think when the outage occurred, they actually stopped play. The referee was down here in front of us as we were watching things go on. He was down in front of us, just standing here. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, they might be right.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't actually think a play took place.
Yeah, it could be right. I'm not sure, because usually you'll see the referee signal that he's keeping the clock on the field, but I didn't see that either. And the little unseen things that those people do for us. And I just wanted to take a moment and give a big thank you to Matucci's Willow Cafe, and of course to the Matucci family themselves, because not only are they great supporters, but they're also very good friends of all of ours, and it's nice to be able to talk about them once in a while.
Well put.
Mount Carmel area at the 55-second mark here in the third period. Take the ball at the Line Mountain 28-yard line, split backs. Sebas hands to Bailey. Bailey up the middle. He's got a wide open hole, and Bailey takes it down to the 6-yard line. First down and 10, Mount Carmel area.
Nice slash back play. The linebackers for Line Mountain did bite on the fake dive coming up with Bailey cutting to the left side. Beautiful hole. In fact, Chris Shue was the pulling tackle from the right side, and he actually had nobody to block. He led the play all the way down to the 6-yard line.
And Bailey is going to, I think Bailey's going to come close to popping over 100 yards going tonight. Be interesting to see his stats at the end of the game when Jose reads them off to us. And he's really, you know, it's funny because we talk about Bailey and you say what a great back he is and this and that. But, you know, you've seen him in the last 2 or 3 games where, and also because you got to remember, you see him more because he's being highlighted a little bit more because teams are now keying at Veach or making a defense that's trying to stop Veach coming around. Well, that loosens up Bailey a little bit. And then when you do that, you can really see what he does as a fullback and as an athlete and really what kind of runner he is. And that's what you're starting to see now from him. That time, Malakowski around the end, and he's going to take it into the end zone, ladies and gentlemen. Touchdown, Jason Malakowski, number 60.
Oh, man.
Now, I know we haven't seen that play.
That was a unique call, wasn't it?
And the big man, the All-Stater, takes it in for a touchdown. And Big Red continues to forward on, and Jason's getting a standing ovation as he comes to the sideline. And he's got to feel pretty good about himself here in his senior year.
I'll tell you what, he looked like a rambling wreck on. Nobody wanted to tackle him.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, he had some speed.
Sinkovich with the extra point attempt. It's up, and it is no good this time. I don't know which way he missed it there, but they're calling it no good. So with 2 seconds remaining here in the third period, Mount Carmel area has opened up a 48-12 lead over Line Mountain Eagles.
Great. I'll tell you what, I tip my hat off to Whitey at this point. You know, you have Steve Sinkovich here that has carried the ball over the last few years and now playing defense and is one of the backs, the main blocking backs on that one play, giving him the ball for his touchdown in his senior year. And here's Jason Malakowski, who's played basically defense, all-stater, you know, how many years in a row now, again, carrying the ball for a touchdown. I mean, that's just great. It's just giving these kids something to remember in their final games here at Mount Carmel.
Sinkovich will kick off again. You've got, you got 2 different guys down there. You got Schreffler and we got Marquette back there instead of Schraub this time. And Schreffler will take the ball. And he's going to be stopped short of the 30 right at the Line Mountain 29-yard line. And getting off that pile, of course, is Bailey and Smith. and Yasenchak.
Now, what do you do here, though?
That was also the end of the quarter, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, go ahead. I'll bring up what I'm going to say to start the fourth quarter.
At the end of the third period, ladies and gentlemen, the score, Mount Carmel area 48, Line Mountain 12. Quick handoff that time to Henniger, and he'll pick up just about 10 yards, and it looks like the first down for Line Mountain. Ball sitting at the 40-yard line. Go.
Okay. We would like to remind you, huh?
See if you can read it right at least there now.
Okay. Did you write this?
No, I didn't.
Okay, we'd like to remind you that we are watching WKMC TV. We're broadcasting to you over a microwave signal, WLX 267. We are an instructional fixed television station. You can catch us on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on Channel 13, courtesy of the Service Electric.
Henniger back to pass.
Cable.
He has number 3, and it's intercepted that time by Chesney. Chesney with the ball heading back up the sidelines. Chesney still moving up the sidelines, and he's going to be brought down. It looks like by 51, Josh Daniels. I'm sorry, Matt Smelts. 51, Matt Smelts. Then along the Line Mountain sideline, interception for Chesney, and he brings the ball back, and it's placed, ladies and gentlemen, at the Line Mountain Eagle 42-yard line.
And you're talking that's the fourth interception tonight?
Way to go, Nick Chesney.
Oh, unbelievable.
Now, he has really strung together such a season, hasn't he?
Yes.
I mean, unbelievable.
He only threw 8 interceptions all year.
Yep.
There's a timeout on the field as the referees are fiddling with the helmet here. Ball sitting on the Line Mountain 42-yard line, where Mount Carmel will start first and 10. 10 minutes, 53 seconds remaining here in the fourth period, Wayne. And
well, I'll
things
tell you
are
what,
beginning to get dimmer and dimmer on the Eagles sideline.
And I still say, I say we have to give #1 credit to that defensive line for the pressure on Wenrick, but also the great play. These defensive backs now have turned up their play a little bit tighter.
That time we have Van Doren with the ball, and Van Doren with a big gain that time, bringing the ball down to the Line Mountain 32-yard line.
And again, we see somebody different carrying the ball each time, going to the left or to the right. This time, Van Doren carrying the ball and, you know, showing what he can do.
Ball is now, that was a first down run by Van Doren that time. The ball on the Eagle 32-yard line, first and 10 Mount Carmel. Sebas with split backs, and he puts Smith in motion, and he pitches to Smith, who fumbles, and the ball is live and sitting out there, and Line Mountain area will recover the fumble. And I'll try to tell you who got that as soon as they stand up. But Line Mountain recovers the fumble that time, and that would be 55 for the Eagles. Now I got Josh Daniels right finally there. And the Eagles take the ball over at their own 39-yard line.
I'll tell you what, Mikey Smith had some blocking out in front of him that time.
Well, they sort of keep their first group in there.
What do we have? Is that 88 Shellhammer in?
Yeah.
Well,
no, I'm looking at Line Mountain side. I'm sorry, I wasn't watching that. But, yeah, Shellhammer in at safety.
Quick handoff that time to Henniger, and he is stacked up in the middle, and Myers with the first hit, and then just count 9 or 10 other guys in there because you get hit by just about everybody else. But Myers with the initial hit, Chesney getting off the bottom of the pile there. Of course, Malachowski, you know, was on the bottom of the pile there somewhere.
He was there.
And I'm not even going to mention Evans because no matter where the bottom of the pile is, he's in it.
79 into the lineup for the Red Tornadoes, Chris Hughes.
You can always count on the bottom of the pile to know that the dog's in there growling.
He's gnawing on somebody.
Wenrick back to pass, and he finds number 7, Schraub, here in the flat, but Schraub will only pick up about a yard on that play, which would bring up a 3rd down and 7 now for the Eagles, with the ball sitting on the Eagle 43-yard line.
Jeremiah Brown in for Jeff Evans. So now we're making some switches there on our line.
Wenrick rolls the pass, and he's looking downfield, and he's got number 7.
Nice.
Schraub was the intended, but Shellhammer, ladies and gentlemen, with the excellent coverage on Schraub, and the ball broken up, and that brings up a 4th down for the Eagles, and I'm guessing they're going to punt.
Nice play by Shellhammer.
Yeah, nice play that time, and Schraub was streaking down the middle of the field, and Schellhammer not made the play. Number 7, Schraub would have scored a touchdown. So big play that time by Schellhammer coming out of that
Free safety
position. And yes, the Eagles will now with a 4th and 6. Schraub does a lot of things on this team. Schraub's going to be back in punt formation for the Eagles, and I find it hard to believe they would try to fake this one. Although we only have one back, and that's Veach.
Ooh,
and I think we tipped it.
Yep, he did.
That was Sinkovic who tipped the ball,
yep.
And it'll roll dead about the 33-yard line of Mount Carmel area. But Sinkovic on a rush tipped that punt a little bit, and Mount Carmel area takes over on their own 33. 7 minutes, 39 seconds remaining in the game, and it's 1st and 10. And ladies and gentlemen, in all seriousness, we do have to do our homework. And we have to tell you that this is WKMC TV. We are broadcasting directly to you from the campus at Mount Carmel Area High School on a microwave signal WLX267. We are an instructional fixed television service. And of course, you catch us every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on Channel 13 on the Service Electric Cable System. And again, remember, ladies and gentlemen, WKMC TV is live at 7:30 in the morning, broadcasting all the day's news. Bailey with Bailey. And Bailey's free into the Eagle ends backfield. Number 1, Harold making the stop that time along with 61.
There's Bailey.
61. Wren on the tackle that time. And again, Bailey running hard. I'm really going to be certain almost that Bailey's going to pop over 100 yards.
I think he did. I think that's what they just did, because here's the change.
Good.
That's exactly what was being done.
Big Red makes a wholesale change, and I'm going to let my 2 partners here really run through this, because that's what they do best.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, give these offensive guys coming off credit. What a heck of a game tonight for the Red Tornado offense. They put 48 big ones up on the board. Good job, Red Tornadoes. Now we'll do some changes. For sure, number 6 in a quarterback is Vince Senchak. Zublik will be the tailback, and probably Aaron Ziegler will be at the fullback, or Mike Powell sometimes.
Dave Shoppy, 55.
89, Tom Jacobs in there.
85, Justin Dillo.
Also 37, Kerprich will be in the game.
Jasenchik to Zublik. Zublik cuts back, brings the ball out to the 50-yard line. Gain of about 4 yards for Mount Carmel area. 7 minutes remaining here in the 4th period.
64, Sean Thomas.
And 57, Swaldy will be in at center. We might be missing 1 tackle. I think number 70, Barthol, is in there at tackle.
Scott Hutko, number 83, goes in.
That time, Jasenchak keeps it straight ahead. Picks up another 4 yards or so. Going to bring up a 3rd down. And let's see, 3rd down and probably a long 3-4 yards. Yeah, more like 4, where it's placed at. Time continues to tick away here for the Eagles here in the 4th period. 6 minutes and 7 seconds remaining here. Jasenchik takes the snap. Quick opener to Moreau, number 41, and he keeps churning, picks up the 1st down, ladies and gentlemen, and puts the ball down at the Line Mountain Eagle 40-yard line. Just a quick opener up the middle that time,
Quick
folks.
opener. He got into where the linebackers were at. You know, tackle. He drugged somebody for about 5 yards, showing a little bit of strength there.
First and 10. Now we have Ziegler and Zublik. The Z's are in the backfield behind Jasenchak. And he's going to hand it to Ziegler, number 40.
Oh, nice ball.
Ziegler picks up a good 7 yards that time, bringing up a 2nd and 3.
89, Tommy Jacobs in there blocking. 70, John Bartle. I saw on the block there, Wade.
Second and 3 for Big Red.
You get interrupted a lot when you're not doing the play-by-play. Everybody asks you questions.
You notice that?
I'm learning your job.
Hand off that time to Powell. Powell was hit in the backfield almost immediately as he got the ball, and then it's going to be brought down by 21, 22. You guys are covering over my numbers here too. He's run by Linker and Lenig. That's the L's. the L's teamed up on the Z's that time. I actually had Powell carrying the ball, though, and now we have actually Powell again and Zublik in the backfield for Big Red. We pitch to Zublik.
Oh, big haul.
Zublik is off to the races, ladies and gentlemen, here. Big pickup. Brings the ball down to the 20-yard line, and another first down for the Red Tornadoes. And Zublik picking up where he left off the last couple of weeks when he's come in. He really
nice
running
blocking on the right-hand side there by number 78, John Matique, and Jacobs. John Bartle, number 70.
Zublik comes out of the game along with Powell, and now you have Ziegler and Moroz in the backfield behind Yasenchak.
Ziegler actually at the tailback.
I formation. Ziegler with the ball. Tough running that time. Picks up 4 yards. Good ball block down at the 16-yard line.
57 on the block too. With that one was Brian Swaldy, and
number 66, Ricky Prezelovsky's in. Oh.
3 minutes and 40 seconds here remaining in the football game, ladies and gentlemen. Mount Carmel ahead comfortably 48-12. Ball sitting on the Line Mountain 16-yard line. Zublik on the pitch out. He cuts up field, and he's going to be brought down just at about the 14-yard line. Going to bring up a third down now and about 4.
Paul Hubler, number 76.
And 56 in there. Wengranovich, Mike Wengranovich.
It's a kind of a logistical nightmare keeping everybody coming in and out of the game all the time. You really got to remember who's going in what position.
I tell you what, they have
all the time.
4 coaches working on it right now, including Coach Williams and Coach Conley getting those numbers in, and that's good.
Yasenchik hands off to Ziegler. Ziegler straight up, Moroz straight up the middle. He'll be stopped for about a yard gain. That's going to bring up 4th down for Big Red. And where they place it will be fourth on a long 1 yard, say 2. Ball currently sitting on the Line Mountain 13-yard line.
That was like about a 9-man change right there. I think there's only 2 left in, Swaldy and number 6 Yasenchak. Everybody else changed on that play.
Wouldn't it be something if they all got in and there were 6 offensive ends in there?
They count heads here. We got
they did it.
Yeah, we got Zublik and Moroz now in the backfield in a split backfield, which is Yasenchik ready to take the snap. And he hands it to Moroz, and Moroz straight ahead.
Come on, Mickey.
First down at the 2-yard line. Mickey Moroz straight in.
And that's probably it, because they're probably down here. But boy, these guys deserve one right here.
You're right. They
deserve one.
Minute 52 remaining in the game. 1st and 3. Actually, 1st and goal from the 3 for Big Red. As time runs down, minute and 40 seconds now remaining in the football game here in this District 4 semifinal action. Hands off to Moroz, and he cuts back, picks up a yard. Clock continues to run. Be 2nd and goal now from the 2.
68, Matt Lepotsky in.
Pay attention, we got another bunch thrown by us here.
66, Rick Prezelovsky.
Can't take your eyes off the field much here, folks. Minute 2, minute 1 going, inside of a minute as we take the snap here. Yasenchik lines up 1 back, Moroz in the backfield. He's got 3 men split to his left, and
and he was coming with it outside. That was a good play call.
We're going to see a 5-yard penalty for Big Red. That'll move the ball back to about the 7-yard line, where it'll be 1st and goal from the 2nd and goal from the 7.
Good call that time, though. You can see that one might be going for it.
Just got a little anxious on that. That's all. 52 seconds now remaining in the football game, and again, Mount Carmel area continues to bring people in and out of the huddle consistently here as the game winds down. Clock has been started again. Of course, we are playing under the PIAA so-called mercy rules here, so the clock does not stop much. And they're going to have time for 1 or 2 more plays tops. And the handoff now is to Ziegler, and Ziegler takes it back down, probably to the original line. He's down along the 3-yard line, 25 seconds, 24 seconds remaining. Time for one more play, and
Come on,
Red
guys.
Tornadoes are going to run one more play
Come on,
here,
guys,
no matter
let's
what.
Go. I want to see. I'd love to see them.
Oh, me
score
too.
Here.
These guys have worked so hard this year. Be nice
Final
to see
play,
them stick
Yacenchik
one
under
in here.
center. He hands off, quick handoff that time.
They tried to get it to Mike Powell.
Powell's going to be brought down. Powell's going to be brought down, and that's the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, Mount Carmel area 48, Line Mountain 12. Mount Carmel area high school advances. They will play next. Well, they're going to play this Friday because you're looking at us on a Wednesday, but they will retain home field advantage here in the district. They will, and we as we speak to you, unfortunately, cannot tell you who they're playing, but it's either going to be Hughesville or South Williamsport. And of course, we all remember the South Williamsport game from last year, so I know that in Mount Carmel's eyes, they'd certainly like maybe to see South Williamsport take another drive up here and have a talk with us, but we're just listening here. We have no idea, and now the place is being torn apart by District 4 representatives here. But a really big playoff win for Mount Carmel area folks. This is what, and you know, you always get the feeling that maybe Whitey had this in the back of his mind from day one here. It was kind of bring this game along and bring it along and bring it along, and there were some gripes about not enough offense and this and that, and then boom, the last 2 games or the 3 games of the regular season, you start to see that offense just absolutely churn yardage out. You're going to see amazing numbers again.
And the thing of it is, when you take a look at the beginning of the season, you know, we did start out slow, and I think a lot of people were griping a little bit. I think they had great expectations from the first snap of the ball of the season, first kickoff, and I know you're right in this case here. As we are getting into the playoffs after this first game, we did see, starting from the 2 games ago, that the Tornadoes did turn it up a notch, start playing some intensive football, both offensively and defensively, and we could see it tonight. The big key, I think, is number 1, the way the defensive line played, the amount of pressure that they had placed on Weinrich, and number 2, the defensive play by our backfield, our defensive backs.
Absolutely.
They played so much tighter tonight. They played a very good game. Even regardless of what the referees had called, I thought they looked outstanding and much improved over the last few games.
We look forward now. Of course, we're going to have Jose here in a couple of seconds as we try to get the end of the game stats into us here. And of course, we're a little bit disjointed here, folks. We want to mention why that is. Of course, Bob is not wrapping the game with us at this moment, and for absolutely excellent reasons. The same reason that I'll be doing the play-by-play for the rest of these playoff games. Of course, you know, Bob's son, the bus at center, and Bob is truly wants to enjoy and be able to watch him a little better here in his final games in his career. Of course, the All-State player. And you know, obviously we want to accommodate that, so that's why I'm going to be doing play-by-play a little bit as we do the playoffs, and you'll see him do some color. But again, he wanted to get down and see John after the game and stuff like that, so that's why we're kind of off kilter a little bit. But we're getting ready now to go down to Jose. I don't know if Jose can hear me yet.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
Jose.
Warren, I just heard what you said about Bob. But I didn't see you coming down doing stats for me 4 years ago. When I wanted to watch my son play.
Why? I don't think you would have let me.
No, you got a job to do. You got to do it, you know. Anyway, tonight for Mount Carmel, a great show, obviously. Offensively, 56 rushes, 263 yards.
Oh, boy.
Passing, Nick had a great night. 6 of 10 for 102 for 365 total yards tonight, 20 first downs. Individually, Johnny Veach, 18 for 111. Al Bailey stuck on 79, but a great, tough 79 tonight. 8 for 79. Nick Sebas, 3 for 3. Matt Van Doren, 1 for 27. Steve Sinkovich, 1 for 4. Jay Malikuski, 1 for 7. Michael Smith, 1 for -7. Jamie Zublik, 3 for 19. Ziegler, 3 for